Okay guys, I'm going to show you exactly what I use to feed my African greys. I'm going to break down all the items I have on this table here, but we're going to start with the branded items. I feed a 50-50 diet, so 50% pellets and 50% other. And that other can contain fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and many more. When it comes to parrot diet, the main important factor is diversity. You want to offer your parrots a wide variety of items, not just for their physical well-being, but also for their mental well-being. So let's talk about Biodiversity Bird Blends. So Biodiversity Bird Blends is a company started by Dr. Jason Crean. He's formulated this diet along with a few partners of his to really offer the diversity that birds truly need. Now I want to start with this here. Now this would be palm fruit nut. This is actually a part of his Summer Love and Foraging blend. And quite honestly, as you all know, African greys are from Africa, the Congo, Ghana, different parts of West Africa. And something that they come in contact with in Africa is the palm fruit. And he actually has a product which is actually palm fruit nut. And I have to say, my birds absolutely love it. I'm pretty sure it has a decent fat content as well, which is something that they need. I give them each one every 3 to 4 days, and it's really just a treat to keep them busy while I'm cleaning. They just love it. I mean, it's amazing. Now, another thing I'd like to show you guys is their Biodiversity Natural Selection Bird Blend. Now, I get the large parrot variety. Some people would get the medium-sized variety for the African greys, but my greys love to hold their food. They like to, really manipulate their food objects, and I get the larger sizes because of that. Now, I want to scoop out a nice bit here, but just so you can take a look at what that looks like. We've got tons of nuts, we've got seeds, we've got grains, we've got so much in this mix here. And I'm just gonna name off some of the ingredients just so you guys have a solid understanding on what's being offered to the birds here. So we've got a millet blend here. We've got canary grass seed, buckwheat, barley, apple dices, carrot dices, hard wheat berries, pumpkin seeds. I can go on and on. We've got pine nuts, split peas, pecans, walnuts, hazelnuts, milk thistle seed. I mean, it goes on and on. And that's the whole point about feeding parrots. You want to offer diversity. And in this blend here, there's no additional vitamins or minerals. It's simply whole foods within this diet. And that's why I like to feed my greys this mix. I ordered a fresh bag just so I can open it up for you guys to see. I didn't want to show you guys an empty bag or half empty bag, just so you can see how rich and fully stocked this food is. I mean, it's a wide variety. And not only does this satisfy them nutritionally, giving them the fats and nutrients that they need, it looks fun just looking down into it. I'm having fun just seeing the different shapes and sizes and nuts here. And they also get a chance to actually shell whole nuts. So we're giving them activities with their food. Food should be enrichment. And that's what we're going to continue to do. We're going to continue to offer them diversity. Now, I'm going to give you a quick scoop here just so you guys can see. I mean, it looks like a work of art. I always feel bad scooping. I mean, it smells amazing as well. And guys, this is not a commercial. I actually purchased this food myself. This is not an infomercial. I do truly love the product here. And if I was a bird, there's tons of things to choose from. There's flowers in here. There's everything. So many different edible items are involved in this food here. And I really think Dr. Jason Crean is doing amazing work. I must say that. I must say that. And when it comes to portion sizes with your birds, I give my birds 4 tablespoons in the morning and 4 tablespoons in the evening. That's 4 tablespoons of their soft food, their fruits, their vegetables, and then 4 tablespoons of their pellets, their seed. It's a mix. Another thing I like to use from Dr. Jason Crean is his Foraging blend. Now the Foraging blend has, it's got a ton of different ingredients as well. Looking at the large Parrot natural selection blend, you would have thought this was a Foraging blend considering all the ingredients in, but this blend is actually very special because it's actually in collaboration with the Indonesian Parrot project. So there's actually ingredients within this mix here sourced from Indonesia, where actual wild parrots are able to forage and really eat these same ingredients. So I'm effectively feeding my birds things from the wild. Very cool stuff here. Now, if you go in, now I'm going to just lay this all out for you guys, because these are some ingredients that I personally have never seen before in a parrot blend. So I'm just going to name them off after I pour. I'm getting a call. It's my mom. Hey, Mom, I'm doing a video.
Great. Talk to tomorrow.
All right, I'll call you after.
What time is that?
3:30.
Okay.
Okay, cool. It's my mom. Okay, guys, let's pour this out here. Okay, guys. Now, these are items that I've never seen before in a parrot food. If you look closely here, and let's get back to it, I just want to show everyone exactly what this food has. It's got banana chips, walnuts, pecans, coconut, pumpkin seed, pine nuts, huge variety of foods here. But one thing I wanted to show you guys, we've actually got mealworms in here. We've got mealworms, actual insects in here, right? And the reason for this is because parrots have actually been seen eating insects in the wild. They are actually omnivores, and a lot of people don't know that. When I offered my birds this blend here, they absolutely loved the mealworms. And I didn't think, I mean, they've never seen a mealworm before, but they see it as a natural protein source. It makes complete sense. And just taking a look here, we've got different bark. Again, another thing people don't know. Parrots have actually been observed consuming bark in the wild. Now, it makes sense why when people offer these plastic perches and these plastic toys and the bird ends up ingesting these plastics, people go, why would the bird ingest? Because the birds naturally eat the things around them in the wild, including the very bark that they stand on. So this is why we have to make sure we're not only offering foods that are safe, but we're offering toys and perches that are safe. Because if your bird is around it, your bird will likely eat it. So again, now I want to kind of show you guys. We're going to dig a bit deeper. I mean, I've mentioned the things that we already know: banana chips, walnuts, unsweetened, normal things, right? But then we get to star anise. Listen. I would assume this is the star anise or star anise. I don't even know how to correctly pronounce it, but it looks like a star, so I'm going to assume that's a star. Let's go. Let's get into it here. Hibiscus flowers, chamomile flowers, rooibos. I have no idea what that is. Kelor nuts. I have no idea what that is. Ketapeng nuts, assam nut in pods, canary nuts, rotan nut. There's a lot of nuts in here. Nuts that I've never heard of. We've got lavender flower buds. We've got, I'm sorry guys if this is boring, but I just get amazed every time I look at this. We've got, and when it comes to the bugs, freeze-dried mealworms, black soldier fly larvae. This is amazing. This isn't something that you could find at a normal pet store. These ingredients blow my mind. I'm sorry if this is like, I'm geeking out here, but this is quite interesting. I mean, I've been feeding my birds this, and I mean, when I do, it's just every scoop, I'm handing them a handful of ingredients. I don't see anything on the market that offers this kind of diversity. And I guess that's why Dr. Jason Crean calls it biodiversity bird blends, because it's true diversity in every scoop. You know, I look at things and, you know, I have no idea what this is, and it's quite compelling. You know, of course, you know, you don't want to just feed your bird things that you don't know what they are, but Dr. Jason Crean is a biologist who's actually seen and studied these birds in the wild. And I can absolutely trust that he wouldn't add something that's detrimental to birds. But do your own research. Take every ingredient on these items here, research it, and you make your own determination. But these are fantastic foods. I would eat this. You know, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure what this is. But, I mean, it's impressive, guys. It's impressive. And every time I feed my birds a scoop of this, I feel good about myself. Just because I'm offering something so special, so diverse, so appealing. Now, when it comes to pellets, That's pretty boring. I mean, we all know pellets are boring. If you had to eat this exact thing every single day, you'd probably lose your mind. That's why it only represents a portion of the diet, 50%, but they know every day I'm gonna get those boring pellets. But the same day I'm gonna get this biodiversity. I'm gonna get these fruits. I'm gonna get these vegetables. I'm gonna get these nuts. I'm gonna get so many different things. Biodiversity rant over. But I wanna show you guys the quinoa as well. I do cook quinoa. I mix it in with their veggie mix. I think they enjoy it. I enjoy quinoa, so they enjoy quinoa. Next, I do want to speak about another brand as well. I'm very good friends with the founder of the brand. It's actually called Chi-Chi's Chop. And this is actually freeze-dried fruits and vegetables here. This contains strawberries, apples, bananas, and I believe mango. And the beautiful thing about freeze-dried, not everyone has the time to cut fruits and vegetables every single day, but there's a way for you to actually attain the same amount of nutrients, and that's through freeze-dried produce. So Chi-Chi's Chop offers freeze-dried fruits, freeze-dried vegetables, and when you freeze-dry vegetables or fruits, they retain as high as 98% of the nutrients they had before they were preserved. This is profound, right? This is profound, giving us the ability to always offer our birds fresh foods. Now, some people may say, that's not fresh, that's freeze-dried. It's preserved so efficiently that 98% of all nutrients are retained. It is fresh. Let's not separate the two. If the nutrients are preserved, it is fresh. And I found that my parrots do like a crunchier texture either way. So feeding them freeze-dried gives me the ability to give them the nutrients they need and also satisfy their ability to crunch, their need to crunch. So Chi-Chi's Chop has been my go-to when it comes to freeze-dried produce. I pretty much used up the bag of veggies. These are the fruit that I have left here. So guys, these are the brands that I personally work with. I'll leave the links below. Check them out. I don't get any financial incentive for you guys to buy these products, and to be quite honest with you, I would never promote a product that I don't personally use and that I haven't personally had success with. I would never sell my, what do they call it? Sell my influence for $1 or $2. You know, if I'm going to recommend something, it's from the heart. So I just need you guys to know that. So yeah, you guys can trust me, I guess. Whenever someone says trust me, I get suspicious. I'm not going to say trust me. All right. Can't forget the frozen stuff. We have our produce here. So I want to just give you a little quick rundown on exactly what I'm feeding when it comes to the produce side. Now, I don't feed the same exact produce every week. I like to switch it up. But one thing to note is everything that I feed my birds, I also eat myself. So if there's a fruit or vegetable that I don't like, my birds probably won't get it. But what they don't know won't hurt them. Now we'll start with my banana. And the beautiful thing about the bananas are they have vitamins A, vitamins B6, and potassium. And you know, when it comes to fruits and vegetables, I like to always feed more vegetable than fruit. Why? Because fruits tend to have a much higher sugar content than what birds would find in the wild. When you look at the fruits found in most grocery stores, they're always extremely ripe, and a ripe fruit is typically a very sweet fruit. When it comes to sugary fruits, you definitely want to limit the amount of sugary fruits that you feed your birds because it can lead to hyperactivity, sometimes causing screaming and plucking. So you definitely want to make sure that you're not feeding too much sugary fruits, especially for birds that are not flighted, birds that are pretty much staying within a cage and not able to exercise like their wild counterparts. So this is why I feed bananas in very small quantities. I could open up this banana and give them 2 slices of the banana, and I eat the rest myself. That way I'm not wasting food. African gray's crop is about the size of the hole between my fingers here. So you wouldn't give an African gray a full banana. You give him a small piece so that he doesn't get too much. Not too much sugary fruits. You don't want to cause hyperactivity. So I give my birds a small helping, and I'm going to chop all of this up, and you're going to see exactly what I feed my birds when it's all prepared correctly. Now, I know a lot of people like to call it chop. They put it in a food processor and give a nice mash. Now, I'm not a big fan of the chop method simply because I wouldn't want chop. If I woke up for breakfast and my wife handed me a pureed mix of food, I wouldn't want it. I want to be able to taste the carrot. I want to be able to taste the banana. I want to be able to taste the peaches, the sweet potato. I don't want it all mashed into one solid mash. I think it's very unappetizing. And in the wild, the birds wouldn't receive a mash of 50 ingredients. They'd receive, many different one-off ingredients. So that's my bananas. Now, I also do have peaches here. One thing about peaches, they have vitamin A, C, E, K, and potassium. So this is great for heart health, great for digestive ability as well. And again, peaches are relatively sweet, so you want to limit your sugary fruits. But this is nice, something you can give your bird a nice slice here and there as a treat for them to enjoy. Now, let's jump over to my greens here. Right here, I have baby spinach and arugula. Baby spinach and arugula. Now, I don't feed a ton of spinach because I know that spinach can inhibit the intake of calcium with birds. So very sparingly, maybe once a week, I'll offer a few leaves of spinach along with the arugula here. The beautiful thing about these leafy greens is they have this A, C, K, and also calcium as well, which confuses me because they say spinach can inhibit the intake of calcium, but it also has calcium. I'm a bit confused on that. We're going to look into that as well, but this is why diversity is so important. You don't want to give your bird too much of one thing when it comes to fresh foods here because they all have different properties. So you don't want to essentially overfeed one item. But leafy greens are very important. And again, everything I feed my birds, I eat myself. So that's that. Now, when it comes to your peppers, the most nutritious pepper color is red. You've got your green, you've got your yellow, you've got your orange. I looked it up, and from what I understand, red has the most nutrients. Could be because of the pigmentation, but I choose red peppers when I feed my birds peppers. And again, I like them, they like them, I add it to their food. And when it comes to red peppers, they have vitamins A, C, B6, and I believe folate. So these are also a good thing to add to the food here. And again, I feed 50-50, 50% pellets, 50% other, and these red peppers are a part of that other. Now, one thing that my birds eat that I love to eat as well is sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. They're lovely. Now, when it comes to sweet potatoes, you're getting a lot of that vitamin E and potassium as well as fiber. And African greys tend to love sweet potatoes. When you have an African gray or you have another parrot that tends to not like vegetables, I like to start with some sweet potato. And when it comes to sweet potato, when it comes to carrots, to really break down the fibers, it's usually best to steam them very lightly. I steam my sweet potatoes for roughly 4 to 5 minutes just to break down the fibers a little bit and to ease digestion. And they love them. And one trick that I like to do is I like to bake my sweet potatoes sometimes, bake them for about 45 minutes, put them in a bowl and mix them with walnuts. This is a great breakfast for myself and for my birds. They absolutely love it. It is a mash when you think about it, but it's a good mash. This is a delightful mash, and I think you should try it with your birds as well. It's a little bit of walnut, a little bit of sweet potato. The mix is beautiful. Now, lastly, we've got my carrots. We've got the carrots here. And when it comes to carrots, you're going to get a lot of those vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K. We're not trying to solve the parrot diet riddle because at the end of the day, when you really think about it, no one truly knows how we're supposed to feed our parrots down to a T. When parrots are in the wild, they experience feast, they experience famine, they experience drought. They're not always going to eat the same thing in the wild. There's going to be some times throughout the year where the parrots may be deficient in certain nutrients because they're just simply not available. So I think it's impossible for parrot keepers to think that they can successfully mimic everything that the parrots experience in the wild. So we can do our very best by offering variety and also offering a base of pellets that allow you to really resolve a lot of those nutritional deficiencies that can occur when you're feeding, many different varieties of foods without targeting any specific nutrients. So that's how I feed. It's 50-50. Now we've got some string beans here. Now, again, a great way to preserve your vegetables is freezing them. So I buy organic frozen vegetables as well. Very easy to cook. You can lightly steam them and the birds love it. There's no difference in quality. I've tasted frozen string beans, I've tasted fresh, and to me, they all taste the same. preserving the nutrients by freezing them. Not a problem here if they're stored correctly. Now, again, when it comes to string beans, you're getting the vitamin A, C, and K. But look, we're not trying to tackle any nutritional deficiencies here. We're looking to offer variety while we feed our pellets that resolve a lot of those nutritional issues. So that's that. And one last thing here I wanted to offer and show you guys is my sprouted grain bread. Now the brand is Food for Life. I love the bread myself, and it has 7 grains within the bread, all safe for birds. The grains that we have here are, we've got sprouted wheat, rye, barley, oats, brown rice, and we also have millet and corn. So 7 grains here. I give the birds a small piece every few days. They enjoy it. Again, we're just offering variety. We're looking to stimulate them mentally as well. Now that we've covered some of the fruits and vegetables that I feed, I wanted to tackle this root here. We've got ginger root. Now, ginger root, very great for humans and birds. Now, ginger reduces inflammation. It's great for eliminating bacteria as well. And when it comes to ginger, the great thing about ginger is it has vitamins B6, vitamin C, magnesium, and potassium. So we're talking about a root that offers a lot of nutritional benefits when it comes to that side of things, and also on the digestive side of things. So I eat ginger every single morning. I chew it raw, drink it along with some water and wheatgrass, and it's a great thing to add to the diet. I add a very small slice every few days as well in their vegetable mix, and they seem to enjoy it. It's a little spicy, but again, birds don't have the same taste receptors as humans, so spice doesn't really register as much for them. They can eat extremely hot peppers without really experiencing any discomfort. So yeah, ginger is something that I also like to feed my birds. Now that we've tackled some of the fresh items here, I want to also talk about my nuts. Now, here are my nuts. I've got 2 here. We've got our walnuts, and then we've got our almonds. These are both tree nuts. Now, when you're looking at nuts like this, there's going to be a lot of omega-3 fatty acids here, which are things that the birds really need. And parrots do have a high fat requirement. You have to remember that their resting heart rate is extremely high. They have extremely high metabolism. They burn fat like no one else. So we have to be able to feed them enough fat to sustain their very fast metabolism. So we've got walnuts, we've got almonds. I personally give my grays 3 almonds each every day. And these are raw almonds and these are raw walnuts, not roasted. And that's simply because I want to really maintain that omega-3 fatty acid profile within the nut here. I'm not exactly sure how much omega-3s are in the nuts after they've been roasted, so I try not to disrupt that factor. But this is, I mean, African Greys love nuts. Who doesn't love nuts, right? So this is something that I like to add to the diet. Little sprinkle here and there. This is the pellets that I feed, Nutritious. And when you guys look at the scientific classification of the African Grey, it is Psittacus erythicus, which is the Latin term for African Grey Parrot. Nutritious has a very strong background with the African Grey Parrot. They specialize in the African Grey Parrot, and they actually do have a breeding facility out in Spain where they actually test their foods and they really experiment to really make sure that they have the right balance here to really serve this species of birds. So these are the pellets that I feed. I really do like the brand. I've had great success on the brand in terms of the birds' plumage, their health, their wellness. All of their blood work looks very good on this diet. So I truly can't complain. I've had a great relationship with the brand thus far. When it comes to parrot keeping, it's all still an experiment. If you meet 10 different parrot keepers, you'll find 10 different philosophies on diet, 10 different strategies, and 10 different approaches. So you have to kind of take bits and pieces from everybody that you respect and formulate your own approach. I'm gonna give my African Greys a dinner like they've never seen before. Well, I mean, they've seen it before because I do this all the time, but that you've never seen before. Okay guys, so let's prepare them a quick meal. Now, I use apple cider vinegar to essentially clean my vegetables. It pretty much destroys the bacteria as it has an acidic profile. And we're gonna soak them in that batch for 15 minutes. And then we're gonna chop them up, prepare them with our dry stuff, dry mix of seeds, nuts, veggies, boom, we're gonna feed them. All right, cool. So first, just gonna do a little dab of that. Bang. You know how when your grandmother's cooking, she doesn't measure, she just pours? I just pour. I couldn't tell you how much it is, but I know it's enough. So we're gonna do 1 carrot. I'm gonna drop that in there. This stuff stinks. You don't want to get that on you. We'll do, yeah, let's do one of those. So the carrots, we're gonna do a little piece of ginger. We'll do ginger, carrots, pepper, and string beans. Okay, guys, so we're actually gonna serve the food raw today. I'm just gonna go ahead and chop them up into thick enough pieces where the birds will be able to hold them, but not too thick as to where they won't be able to pick them up at all. So we're gonna start with the carrots here. First, I ended up chopping off the ends. And I'm just going to end up chopping them in just in fours, just like that. That way they all have their sticks. 2 sticks. I'll eat these 2 sticks. I'm just going to do half and half. Half for me, half for them. So as for the peppers, I'm going to give them 2 slices of that as well. Maybe 3. We're just going to, you know what? I'm just going to move that to the side there. Actually, we'll leave it just like that. The apple, we'll go ahead and slice that down the middle. A lot of people are a bit wary of apples because the apple seeds are technically toxic to birds, but it takes a very large amount of apple seeds to kill a bird. But I still end up cutting them out. And that's relatively simple. I just cut that straight on out. Cut the pod right out. Okay, so now just gonna one slice. We're not gonna give them too much because as we know, they don't need all that sugar, even though these green apples aren't sugary anyway. Do 3 slices of that. And then we'll have that small piece of ginger here. And just 2 pieces each, just like that. Now we'll do some greens. Baby spinach and arugula. Again, we're not doing too much. Just a small bit here. Just to keep right there. And again, we're going to add some biodiversity bird blend. We're going to do our natural selection blend, which contains those seeds, flowers, and nuts. As you can see, we've got some of that there. I get a cooler scoop. That's the thing about this food. I have so much fun scooping it. I try to find the coolest items to actually place in their food. That's me having fun, I guess. And then we're just going to lay that right in there. Okay, that looks good to me. And then to put the cherry on top, I'm going to take some of the foraging blend. I'll just pick 1 or 2 items. Here's where I get to have some fun. This looks interesting. Not sure what it is, but it looks interesting. We'll add this. Not sure what that is. I'm going to have to really look up a lot of these items and really get the correct names here. I have so much fun adding them. Let's see. Oh, the star. There we go. We're going to add 1 of those stars. Let's do 2 of those stars. I'm foraging right now. Oh, another star. There we go. Boom. Looks good to me. I know right away that this is probably too much food. I got a little carried away. And now we're going to serve this to the birds. Now guys, as you can see, the African Greys love the diverse meal that we prepared. The main topic when it comes to parrot diet is always going to be diversity. We want to offer them a wide variety of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, and really just allow them to stimulate themselves mentally and physically while they eat. Now, huge thank you to Jordan for purchasing your African Grey Journal t-shirt and hat. We really appreciate the purchase, my friend. And to everyone else, if you don't have your shirt yet, what are you waiting for? I'll see you guys on the next episode. Be sure to like and subscribe.